Let's just fix the camera. That's it. We're ready to go. We're ready to go with another one. I've decided to go live. So before we get anyone, potentially, let's just get the intro out the way, just for people that are not going to be watching this live and that are going to be coming in watching this just as just a normal video, just a normal form of the podcast. So today we're going to talk about complaining. You know, people that complain, that like to bitch, moan, stuff like that. These guys, we're going to be talking about all that. We're going to really break down the topic as we always do. One sec. And get to the bottom of it. Get to the bottom of it. But before we do that, because I'm 1 minute in, I have a bit of another topic that I wanted to talk about, which is nowadays men, or more so teenagers, their sense of fashion, okay, and sense of style. As I say that, let me just fix my hair. What is the? I don't understand. I understand it, fashion. It changes all the trends. This is trending. This is not trending. It is what it is. I understand that. But as a young person, as a teenager or a young adult, people forget, or they don't understand that your appearance portrays you in a certain way. If your appearance is if you're not well put together, people are not going to take you serious. You might look cool for your mates, but that's only because they don't know what they're doing as well. You want to present yourself in a more serious manner, I would say. I'm not against fashion and all this. If you go on my Instagram or whatever, you can tell, I used to be very fashionable. I still am. You know, when I'm out, I look good. I always look good. That's not a debate, is it? But I don't look like a child, and I don't look like a person that is one of these people. I can't find the correct adjective for it. You know what kind of person? Like a person that cannot be bothered with anything. Oh yeah, man. Let's say like a rapper. You do not want to look like a rapper unless you're a rapper. And even then, you kind of have an excuse to look a certain way. But if you're not a rapper, don't look like one. They're not cool. They have nothing good to offer society, apart from their music that is mainly about drugs, killing people, and women. They're not really doing anything positive anyway. So why would you want to look like someone that offers nothing to society? That's my general question. And my biggest problem was, it's the hair, people's hair. Like all these teenagers' haircuts. What kind of haircuts are you guys getting with all that stuff? And you're making your head look as big as possible and as messy as possible. I don't know how you're not getting to this conclusion that I'm about to get to, which is, the bigger you make your head look, the smaller your body looks. So the bigger your head is, you look smaller, you look skinnier. Is that what you're after? You want to look skinny and weak. You want to look like a big stick for a body, and then like a massive head, like that. You literally, you want to look like Stickman. Is that it? Just turn that light on. No difference. Absolutely no difference. But anyway, is this what you're after? Looking like a giant Stickman. Since when is this? Who even decided that this looks good? I don't understand it. Even my little cousin, he's got that same haircut. It's ridiculous. And I've coached how many children now? How many youngsters, teenagers? They all look ridiculous with that hair. They all do. And it's not cool. I look at this hairstyle and I'm like, the conclusions that I make are, you think you're too cool to try and do something because your hair literally says that. Oh yeah, man, that messy hairstyle. Yeah, I'm too cool to like pay attention to my hair. That's why it's so messy. Although you actually spend hours trying to make it that messy and look like a complete garbage. So you are saying this, yeah, man, look how casual I am, which is not a good message. I don't like that. Like, you're casual. Wow. This is such an admirable quality or characteristic or whatever you want to call it. Wow, you're very casual. Impressive. Yeah, impressive. Or the other one is, I just cannot be, I can't be bothered to do anything about my hair. So that's why it's gone to the place that it's gone to. So basically, I don't care. So it's either I don't care or I'm very casual, mate. It's like me being cool that I don't care. It's just a confused worldview. And again, just to reiterate, when you're a young person and you actively try and make your head bigger with these messy hairstyles, you look skinnier. I don't know about, like, obviously children nowadays and people. I never wanted to look skinnier. I didn't. Because you're a man. What the hell? You're supposed to look strong and be strong. It is what it is, though. So, that being said, we can tie this into the topic of today's podcast, which is, as I said, complaining. Complainers, people that bitch and moan. Something doesn't go their way, they have to let you know about it. They have to let you know. Or you don't do something right, they have to let you know in the most negative manner possible. So give me a second. Let's start with the obvious problem, which is, in today's society, it is being very emotional, because to complain and to bitch and moan, you are being emotional. Obviously, you are being emotional. You're actively actually displaying your emotions, your negative emotions, how unhappy you are with what's happening. Today's society is kind of rewarding this display of emotions, whether they're negative, you have to display, you have to show. Oh yeah, he was this. He's being vulnerable. It's twisted, but it's being pushed more and more that, oh, it's okay. If you don't do it, oh, it's toxic masculinity, all that rubbish, nonsense. And rewards lack of discipline. How? By punishing discipline. If you're a very like, if you're solid, if you have control of your emotions, you're like, oh, this guy, yeah, you're repressing it, mate. You're gonna, this is gonna happen to you, that's gonna happen. You have to say how you feel or whatever the hell it is. That most of the time encourages complaining, because when someone is happy, we don't have a problem. Everyone freely shares happy moments. But now we've got to the point where we're encouraging people to share when they are unhappy. But the problem is, people don't know how to share that because it's difficult. It's easy to be happy, it's not easy to be unhappy and share negativity or something negative that you're experiencing or whatever. This is difficult, yet encouraged. We need to understand exactly what we're dealing with here. It's like what has become of complaining is, I'm complaining because it is complaining. I'm going to keep using that word. You can say I'm sharing my negative, whatever, observations or feelings. It is complaining. But no, I'm just being honest. You can still be honest and complain. But because I'm being honest, now people will start confusing weaknesses and honesty. It's not the same thing. Like, you're being honest, but you're complaining. Complaining is weak. So you're saying I'm being honest. No, you're being weak. It's not the same thing. Honesty and weakness. Look, we're mistaking all that. We're mistaking it. And then on the opposite is restraint. When you decide not to, I'm unhappy about this thing, but I'm not gonna put it out there. I'm gonna keep it to myself. And by unhappiness, maybe it's a criticism of someone else. Maybe it's just you're unhappy with your circumstances. But you're showing us you're not trying to bother anyone else with your problems because you're strong, you can deal with them. Like, okay, that's not good, but yeah, I'll find a way. I don't really feel the need to go and make sure everyone knows. How unlucky I am or everything's gone against me. No, I don't need to do that. So today's society says you have to express it because you don't want to repress. You're repressing bad emotions. That's gonna come back to bite you. So we're confusing repression and restraint. So we think weakness is honesty, so we spin weakness the other way and we present it as something good. And then strength, which is restraint. I'm restrained. I'm in control. I know how much to let out. We confuse this, which is actually strength, with repression. Where you're repressing emotions, that's something very negative. So just look at the spin. Look at the spin in today's world. Ridiculous. It's not good. You can see now, hopefully it's crystallizing, how it's being accepted. And why people think it's normal. Because people think it's normal. I can give you some examples and I will a bit later on. and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Or you know what, just so we can, we'll pause with the more philosophical breakdown, and we will actually, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna give you a football one. You play football, you misplace a pass. Okay, you play a bad pass, you make a mistake. Or you decided not to pass and take a shot. The guy next to you, pass me the ball. He starts having a go at you. What are you doing? Why are you dribbling? Pass me the ball. I'm gonna score the goal. Hey, you fucking hell, you guys, you don't pass the ball. Start thinking when you're playing football, you know? That's bitching. Shut up, mate. Right, okay. What you could have said is, I was open. I was open. I can still say. So I'm giving him information, which, you know, both examples are people giving information. But one is just so negative. One is bitching, the other one is just, I was open here. Play me the ball next time. And it's a goal. This is not complaining. This is almost feedback, you can say. But the other one, pass me the ball, man. No one is passing. Oh. Different attitude. Come on, man. You know, I get an allergic reaction when I start doing it. I never do it. Oh, I thought my mic went. That's what I'm talking about. For 6 minutes now, I've been talking about this. Now we've got an example. Now you know what I'm talking about. You can do the same thing with people. But in football, it's a bit exaggerated because it's so obvious. You can obviously tell who complains the most. You know. And if you don't play football, then you can definitely think of a lot of people that like complaining. This is this is the, but they're not really giving any solutions. But they're good at pointing out stuff. That's this, that's that. If you ask them, they're just gonna keep indulging in their bitching. But you ask them, can I get some solutions? They're gonna be very brief on the solutions. They're gonna be like, oh, just do that. Oh, one word, you almost wrote an essay of complaining. And now when I ask you for actually something productive, something that can help me, you're giving me 2 words. What does that mean? That means you just spreading negativity out there. What are you doing? You know? And these are the examples for you. It's if you think about it, we can think about definition. What is complaining? I would say that complaining is when you complain, you wish that something was different. You wish, when you're complaining, you're wishing the world to be different in one way or another, but you're not doing anything about it. You're just wishing for the world to be different, but no action. That's complaining. This is bitching. It's poor. You're not acting. You're not doing anything about it. So logically, philosophically, whatever point of view you want to take, or perspective, whatever lens you want to adopt to look at this topic, it is just you are verbalizing your powerlessness. You're showing your weakness. You're being weak. You're spreading negativity. You're not doing anything positive. the logic of I complain, therefore I achieve what? What exactly? You don't make anything better. But you're running your mouth. You're annoying people. Most of the time, people will know when they mess up. Mostly in sport. In life, it's a bit more. It's more of a gray area. In sport, people know when they mess up. We don't need to pile on top of it. In life as well. Because, as I said, it's verbalizing your weakness. You're showing everyone how powerless you are by complaining. That's why I never complain. Because if I ever complain, I'm like, what? Why am I complaining? What is that gonna do? Me telling you how bad this and this and this, or how you didn't do this and this and this and that. Whenever I say something like this, I make sure I spend just as much time talking about the solution of the problem, because essentially, this is what I do. This is what I'm after. I want solutions. I don't want just echoing the problem. Doesn't do any good. As I said, by complaining, you're just talking about something that you don't like, but you're not acting. So act instead of complain. But it's more of a mindset. It's more of a mindset. Think about it. People that complain, they don't just. It's not a one-off. It's never a one-off. It's just some people do it. Some people, not really. So it's more of a mindset. It is a mindset. And we have to shift away from that mindset. But you have to be shown a way of acting that is better. And we really need to understand that it is important. It is important. Maybe I'm repeating myself a little bit, but to be honest, yeah, I'm alone in this chat room. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not. Oh my god, I don't have viewers. Who cares, mate? I don't care. We're going. I'm having just as much fun as any other time. You can't break me with something like this. That's nothing to me, mate. I might even be talking to myself, here, and it's still all the same. Doesn't make no difference. But we need a shift of mindset, and how that shift is gonna happen, personal opinion here, is we truly have to understand that every time you complain, you are giving a voice to your weakness. Do you want to be taken as weak? Is that something that you want? I don't think anyone would like for other people to think that they're weak. But we all need to understand and remember that everyone that complains is weak. We need people that give solutions. Strong people lift others up. You push them up. I'm not trying to tear people, to put people down. Strong people try to build others up. You're not insecure. You don't have anything to worry about. Weak people trying to tear you down. Consciously, subconsciously, doesn't matter. Yeah. Um, Once you're past 12 or 13 and you start developing like an understanding of the world, even a little bit, you need to be past the phase of like complaining, because you start understanding, hey, like me complaining, I'm probably just making this other guy just feel bad. And I'm mostly here, I'm talking about playing football because it's like very close to me. And you've got so many examples, but it applies to everything else. Okay, because when I'm explaining this, as I'm talking here to the camera, I have that picture in my head of me playing football. And it's so vivid how I can just tell you from the top of my head people that complain. And then I can remember of others that never really say anything. The ones that are actually, oh, I like playing with this guy. The guy that when you make a mistake, he says, doesn't say anything. It's just, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's game. Nothing. But when you do something and say, yeah, let's go, he's happy. I like people like that. I like playing with them. And I want to be a person that is like that. And then you apply this to life. I don't want to be with people just complaining. Oh, look what you did here. Look what you did there. Oh, this guy, that guy. Mate, it doesn't matter. I just want to, when you do something nice, I want to let you know. When you don't do something good, I'm going to try and keep, like, stay silent as much as I can. Unless, like, I have to tell you something for your own good. But, yeah, how are we going to change? We're going to make that shift by understanding that it's a weakness. It is a weakness. Just went on this whole big tangent of explaining why it is a weakness. It is. It is. People that complain are weak. Or maybe they're not weak as a person. Oh, you're a weak person. But you're displaying weakness. Everyone, or most people, not me, have weaknesses. If you've read The Art of War or The Prince by Machiavelli, you know you don't want to display yours. You want to be seen as strong. But then we go play football and everyone, come on, mate. Not like that. I don't. How is not everyone else is not seeing this? And in football, it's exaggerated because people don't realize what they're doing. They think that they need to kind of wake you up. Wake up, man! Oh, by barking. That's not doing anything good. You want to be productive, 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 productive. But so many people apply that same principle. I need to shake him a little bit, wake him up. Something needs to wake this guy up. Doesn't work like that, really. Sometimes you need a bit of a shock, like, hey, listen up. But most of the time, that's not necessary. That's necessary on very few occasions. But we don't necessarily do it. But once we understand that it is a weakness, hopefully we stop doing it. Because for me personally, I feel like I've repeated myself 700 times already. Hopefully it's not as bad when I watch it back, if I do. For me personally, I can never complain because I'm going to be embarrassed. Something bad happens to me and I start going, yeah, this, oh. I feel like I'm letting myself down. It feels like all the books that I've read, like they're for nothing. Like I'm bringing myself down to the level of everyone else almost. That sounds narcissistic, but by that I mean like to the level of everyone else that hasn't put as much work into becoming better as I have. That everyone else that has not read 250 books or whatever. That's why I feel like, why I've been doing all that work for what? To let myself down, just to complain for a sec? What maybe makes me feel better? For what? It doesn't. It doesn't. You just put yourself in a negative. You feel better in that brief moment of time before you realize what you're actually doing. And if you're self-aware, you are gonna realize what you're doing. And then you're gonna sit back and, what was I doing, mate? What was I talking about for like half an hour? What did I achieve? Nothing. What was the purpose of all that? And you realize, I just showed myself to be a, just a bitch, or just moaning. Who wants to be around people like that? I don't. And yeah, but you have to have some self-awareness. Here though is what we confuse, and why some people feel justified, and some people would listen to this and go, now there are some, I can tell you how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that, like how you're going to get to this person, or how you're going to point out the bad stuff, or you can't, or what, touch by Bernardo Silva. That was disgusting first touch. Oh, it's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. That guy is amazing. People are still confusing another thing now. We're confusing what was I saying? We're confusing the two. We're confusing expressing something, expressing a negative emotion, a negative feeling, with processing it. That's so many people, just lay it out, lay it out, lay it out. Let what out? This is, you could say, you're just, by letting it out more and more, whatever that is, you're reinforcing a cycle of, I feel something, I have to lay it out, I have to express it. You're not reinforcing a sense of control. You're reinforcing a sense of, I feel this, that must be the right thing to feel, I'm just gonna lay it out now. And it's out of me. Yeah, but you reinforced the feeling. You didn't process it, like saying something or feeling like crying and crying. That's not, yeah, you expressed how you felt, but you didn't really, you didn't, what did you learn? How are you gonna be better for the next time that this happens? Well, next time you're just gonna say, just let it out. Yeah, express. You have to express yourself. Yeah, I express it, and what? And what? Yeah, you could say, well, you can initiate a conversation, maybe, but it's difficult. It's difficult because talking about feelings without feelings is difficult. Detaching yourself from your feelings is difficult as it is. Imagine trying to talk about these feelings, if that's what you mean by expressing. Now we've kind of shifted the topic a little bit. Imagine trying to talk about these feelings while you're feeling them. You need to distance yourself from them a little bit. How do you distance yourself from them? Well, you feel them without expressing them. And then what happens? Then you start processing them. And then you can talk about it. So it's different. It's different. If you have that counter argument of well, yeah, but I'm going to initiate a conversation and like understand what I'm feeling, that's different. We're talking here about negative feelings, as you know. There's no point talking about positive feelings. We all, like, everyone knows how to be happy, how to feel good. It's just natural. We're talking about all the negativity, the negative stuff, the stuff that breaks people and makes them into these that a walking ball of weakness and negativity. A good ball. Some good passing from Everton. Yeah. Processing it, to process what you feel, doesn't require expression. What it requires is self-awareness. Self-awareness requires, okay, I feel something. Oh, wait, what am I feeling right now? Instead of, I'm feeling something, I need to act on it immediately. And complaining is, you feel something and you act on it immediately. It's not, that was frustrating to me, but wait, it's not the right thing to say. I can't just have a go at this guy. Oh, he didn't pass the ball to me, let me just absolutely destroy him with criticism. That's not the thing to do. So you experience an emotion, instead of putting it out there, obviously negative emotion, we're talking about negative stuff here. You want to keep it in and start processing. Like, we've talked about this before. I've even mentioned the book, the main book that is going to actually help you break down all that stuff that we're talking about and make it more digestible, which is Thinking Fast and Slow. So you feel something, you act on it immediately. This is just an instinct. That's your system one of like decision making. You have two systems. System two is the slower processing system, which you think of something or you feel something and then you're like, okay, now in the background, system two starts working, start processing. What is this? Where do I put that? All that stuff. But yes, processing is not expressing. Even if you look at the words, I express something. Most of the times you express something straight away. But when you're processing, that suggests a longer period of time. And to process something, as I said, you need self-awareness. You have to be self-aware. You can't just act on impulse like an animal. This is what animals do. This is what animals do. You want to separate yourself. This is why we're human, because we can think. Put that thinking to good use, please. Animals don't have that type of, they don't have that luxury. We do. So use it. And that's the confusion. This is the confusion. I've told you a couple of things, which is complaining is weakness. And expressing something doesn't mean you've processed it. The whole point of this podcast and of what we're doing is to be able to get better. with complaining and with emotions, negative emotions, what I'm telling you, it's not toxic masculinity, it's not unhealthy, it's not repression, it's not unrealistic. Keep it in. Keep it in. Keep it to yourself. It's not bottling stuff. I'm just bottling my emotions. No, it's not. It's having the control and the discipline and the emotional intelligence, as we've discussed previously, to be able to say, oh, I really want to do that. I really want to say something, but I won't, because it's not the right thing to do. And you manage to hold it in. Now, what you do with that negative emotion, it's there. You can transform it into something. Emotion, it's like, oh, well, a workout. If you're that angry and energized, go for a workout. Go on. When you get tired, it's going to be out of you all of a sudden. So there are ways to use all that. I can tell you, because the amount of angry workouts that I've done is significant. Or unhappy workouts. I've seen something like, fuck that. And then I'll have the impulse of having a go at someone or something, or just, yeah. But the better you learn to, let's hold that in. Even if it's for, you don't go for a workout immediately, but the next morning you wake up and you're like, yeah, I remember that from yesterday, let's go. And the better you get, like the more emotionally intelligent you get, the longer I feel like I can remember something that happened years ago that didn't sit right with me. And that you could say I didn't express. I kept it in. Or maybe if I did express, but it's still inside, expressing doesn't mean anything. I've expressed so many things that then I've needed like years to process that, expressing is just it's just what I'm telling you about today's society. You have to vulnerable. Say what you feel. Why? Why? For what reason? This is promoting weakness. Promoting weakness. We're dropping. I understand why. Even some people, they don't do it with bad intentions. But you have to understand the general consensus and what society thinks and takes as acceptable. The standards for all that. So, for example, you have to share what you feel, blah, blah, blah. That's the general consensus, isn't it? It's good, Oh, yeah, it's good, it's good. Sharing is good. You have to say, you have to express all these emotions. You can't keep them in. That's not good for you. This could be an okay advice, but it's brought down to the level of it needs to be applicable to everyone. So it's been watered down, dumbed down. So everyone can kind of take this advice and be a bit better off than what they would have been if they knew absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? It's not precise. It's not tailored to people. It's more so just a generalization. Most generalizations are not really good. Most generalizations don't have excellence in mind. They have just average or just good enough, subpar. You need to understand that if you are after excellence, or if you want to get somewhere, don't accept general consensus and advice, because it's not the same thing. The more general something is, so the more it applies to everyone, that means it's going to apply mostly to what? To mediocre people, to the average. If you don't want to be average, why do we keep sticking and accepting all these like generalized opinions? You know what I'm saying? Generalized opinions. It's good to express. Oh, what are you feeling now? You have to share, you have to say, you have to, yeah, it's good for you. Express what, why, what. And you say what you wanted to say, but then did you think about it? No, you just said it. Maybe you forgot it after. But if you didn't think, thinking is what makes the difference. And thinking, I've never seen, I've never seen people, or the general advice of not express your emotions, but I've never seen people say, listen, you have to break down everything you're feeling and understand yourself. Try and find the origin of these emotions. People don't say that, not because it's very difficult. It might be difficult, but you know why? Because there's professionals that can do it for you, and you can go and pay instead of, oh, you can go and read some books and actually just sit down and think. At least that's my point of view. Maybe it's a bit distorted. I have to be aware of my reality distorting field that is around me. Why does that field exist? Because of my obviously mental state, which is, you could say, there is a very good argument, and it's more so a fact, that my intelligence is above average. So people that are smarter than most think that everyone can be at the same level, but the reality is that's not happening. That's not happening. But then the other problem is, I'm saying this, and this can sound arrogant, but then the reality is, everyone, if you ask people, what are you in terms of intelligence? Everyone will say, I'm like average, at least. But if everyone is average or above, then where is average? Oh yeah, I'm average. Someone has to be below average for you to be average, there has to be people that are below average intelligence for people like me to exist, that are above average intelligence. And then when I give examples, I try to dumb them down. I try and make them accessible to all people. But eventually, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. That's what I'm always thinking about. Am I missing something? If I knew nothing, would I be able to guide myself to get to the place where I'm now, where I know all that stuff? So that's my general approach. So all these things that I say about processing emotions and stuff like that, to me, it looks straightforward. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, of course. Of course. To me, it makes sense not to express my negative emotions because it's a weakness. It's obvious. But then people do it every day, and they don't even, doesn't even cross their head, like, it doesn't even cross their mind. Oh, I'm just a little bitch here. I'm just bitching. What am I doing? Or you were playing football and the guy just keeps moaning and moaning. You think I don't know I messed up? Yeah, when I didn't pass the ball there. Of course I know. You don't need to say it about 15 times and make faces and throw your hands. That's why I don't like Bruno Fernandes. He's always chasing someone and complaining about something. That's why I don't like players like that. Or Mbappe. He does that all the time as well. And that's why, to be honest, that's why I don't like football. I don't like these new football players. They're always complaining. They're always pretending. Weakness. The same reason I don't like complainers, because it's weak. It's weak to complain. Is the same reason why I don't. There is Man City and Everton at the moment. I've got it on, and I like Man City, but I'm sure in about 1 minute, yeah, someone is gonna get fouled. They're gonna be on the ground, holding their ankle and screaming. How can you live like that? Imagine me on TV, I get kicked and I go down, and can you imagine me going down and starting to, oh, my uncle, and then I stand up and play? Ridiculous. I can't, that's too much. Let's see, almost a foul here. Oh. No foul. Now, just because I'm saying all that, yeah, I bet there's not going to be a foul for the next 10 minutes. So I can point out how much the guy is pretending. But yeah, what was I saying about my advice and the reality distorting field, which comes from thinking everyone's going to be on the same page, where in reality, people are not. But to get back to the topic, the only way to shift away from this weak mindset is to understand that it's weak and to actually start saying something. We have to, that's why I'm doing this, because I want as many people to know that complaining, blaming, doing all that stuff is just weak. We have to keep pointing this out. And sooner or later, because everyone wants power, everyone wants to be seen as strong, sooner or later, people are going to stop doing it because they're going to be like, oh, that makes me weak. I don't want to be weak. No one wants to be weak. This is like the rule of the jungle. Everyone wants to be strong. That's just natural. So the more we point out that complainers, people that just bitch and moan, oh man, are weak and are pussies, the less of them we're going to get. Because he's going to start rubbing people the wrong way. They're going to be, maybe they ignore it a couple of times, but on the 5th time, they're going to be like, I want to say something, but if I say something, I'm like a little bitch. And people know. So now they don't say it. You just need to basically shame people that are like that. Yeah, we have to shame people. How did I not think about this before the podcast? Shame people like that. Just show them. Oh, I can't control my emotions, so I have to say something when I feel a negative emotion. I can't keep it in for a minute. Well, yeah, because you're a pussy. I'll never be as weak as you. That's it. What a smart idea. Why didn't I come up with this earlier? But the thing is, though, for example, when I coach, I just don't allow that. I always make fun of people that complain because it's embarrassing. I wish people could see how embarrassing this is. I wish. I wish. I really wish. Just weakness. And it's accepted everywhere. It's accepted. Why? Why? I can't wrap my head around this. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Pussies. This is why I've moved away. Moved away from, not moved away. I'm obviously I still like football. I like the game, but I don't like watching it because it pisses me off. All that weakness. All that weakness. Complainers. Cole Palmer. Bruno, as I said. Mbappe. Who else complains a lot? Who else? These are my like top 3 that come to my mind. Throw their hands, something. When I play football, I know. I don't want to name names, but I know. Or someone does do something well. You know who else does it? You know what is a really actually good predictor, especially for youngsters, teenagers? The ones with this hair, the one that the hairstyle that I was talking about in the beginning of this podcast, that the ugliest haircut of all time. People with that hairstyle that can play a little bit and that are not very shy, they complain a lot. Guaranteed, it's a guaranteed fact. I haven't seen anything else. I've seen this too many times. I have the examples. It's almost not anecdotal evidence because I have examples. I have so many examples. Come on, man. Come on, man. And then you're not doing anything. Come on, man. Oh, what are you doing, bro? That hairstyle. Imagine someone that has a nice, well put together hairstyle. They've tucked their shirt. Imagine them complaining. It's not happening. A serious player like me, when I go and play, my hair is gonna be. You see, I haven't had a haircut. My hair looks alright, doesn't it? It just looks normal. Just a normal haircut. Serious. A haircut for a man. No rappers have this haircut. Okay, so that's a good sign for me. When I play football, I've got my shirt tucked in, nice and serious player, runs back, helps the team, unselfish. That's what you want. No complaining, tries to make other people better. He's a good teammate. Everything's together. Everything comes together. Come on, man. Forget about this. That's poor. And yeah, that's it for today. I've had enough. I've said what I needed to say. I feel like I repeated myself about 500 times, but I had to say what I had to say. It was important. Hopefully, we can take something away from this. And remember, complaining is being weak. Strong people don't complain. They fix their problems because they're strong. There is nothing to complain about. If you don't like something, you change it. Okay? If you don't want to change it, then it doesn't bother you enough. So if it doesn't bother you enough, there is no point talking about it. That's it. It's very simple. And yeah, that's it. 57 minutes in. We're sticking to roughly like the 1 hour format. So I'll be back next week and let's see how I stop this. Yes. I'll be back next week.